Conducting a thoughtful, fair, and useful evaluation of the superintendent is both important and challenging. In this series of 5 short videos, school committee members and superintendents from 5 districts share their experiences as they developed, implemented, and now continue to refine the superintendent evaluation process.
Determining the summative performance rating is a challenge when there are numerous people looking at the same thing through different lenses.
School committees and members come from all different walks of life, and we come in with different skills and abilities and understandings.
Really critical in my estimation, listening to a lot of the superintendents, that the process that's used in the evaluation is one that's mutually understood by the other. And the best way to get to that is that they communicate up front about what that process looks like.
Managed to be able to work that through again by having really good conversations about what the ratings mean.
In the rubric there are 4 standards, there are about 20 indicators and 40 elements. That's a lot for any school committee to consider. So generally the school committee will determine a limited number of elements that they will look at. And picking those elements that most closely relate to the goals that have already been set. The more the committee members can have the same idea of what's going to happen, the easier it is at the end to come up with a rating, or a rating of progress on the goals, or a rating on the rubric that matches each other.
We're also conscious that some members who may be filling out our evaluation some years may not be on the committee all year long. And that comes with certain challenges with it.
It's open to everyone, but what we try to do is we try to orient new members on what their responsibilities are going to be, on the fact that as new members they're only really allowed to evaluate based on the performance that they've been privy to through these artifacts, through direct interaction as a school committee member with our meetings with the superintendent, and it's not based on what they might have been thinking previously when they're sitting at home or running for school committee.
When the members are all done with their evaluation, and then we put it all together and come up with a chart of each goal. So many said this, so many said that, 6.8%. Whatever it figures out to.
The chair of the ad hoc committee writes the evaluation. Final evaluation is voted on by the whole school committee.
The chairman will take all of that information and craft probably about a 2-page summary document that includes themes and so forth. So I know what I've done and what others have done is to be very thoughtful about not cherry picking, but working hard at finding themes that are, again, going to support improvement.
The chair of the evaluation subcommittee provides a report that summarizes those discussions. It has narrative on each of the goals, and as well as the proposed ratings on each of the standards and the overall rating. And then there's discussion at the full committee level about the report submitted by the evaluation chair.
Comment part of the goals is also a good part because it gives a superintendent an awareness of where the committee is. And we talk about it in open meeting. I read it so everybody sees, and some people may agree with some comments and some people may disagree, but it's all good language to be right out in the open so anybody that wants to watch the meeting can see how is Whitman-Hanson Superintendent doing.
The event that comes up during the course of the year that's unanticipated, I think, is a challenge in terms of the evaluation process.
Stuff happens. you know, and you either get off track or you have to rethink what you're doing, or you have to, in some years, just drop everything you're doing, and because there's some sort of major issue that needs to be attended to.
There's some level of fairness in setting out at the beginning of the process and letting the superintendent know this is how you will be evaluated, and not deviating too far from that. I think if something comes up, the school committee needs to find a way to manage that situation and let the superintendent know about their thoughts about it. And if it's something that needs to be addressed, the next goal setting cycle is often the place where it can get addressed.
I think it's really important that as I serve as a model for the rest of the educators in the district about being open and transparent about my growth as a professional and valuing the feedback that I'm getting from the school committee.
The process that we use here not only is just, it's standards-based, it's goals-based, it's a fair process, it's not a gotcha.
This process is not intended to be punitive. It's about continuous improvement. How do we collectively come together to support students in teaching and learning?
We hope you will use these videos and the accompanying examples, tips, and tools on the department's website to learn more about what school committees and superintendents are doing and learning as they partner to ensure a fair, thoughtful, and useful superintendent evaluation process.